What's up, guys? Igor Hernandez here. Let's talk trial. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the way or the best way to conduct a case analysis, a preliminary case analysis, while limiting your own internal biases and the effects that those internal biases will have on your preliminary analysis of a case. So, a lot of times, as I'm sure it happens to you, we get a case, whether it be a case that a client that calls us directly for representation, or whether it be another lawyer who's bringing us onto the case to help try the case or to help work the case, and we have to figure out from the beginning whether this case is better for us or the other side. The best way to do that is to get a preliminary analysis that is completely devoid, if possible, although that's not really humanly possible, or almost completely devoid of our own biases, meaning the first look at a case should not be influenced by my own preconceived notions and leanings towards certain parties, certain people, certain incidents. And so here's a couple of good tips that I use to make sure that my own biases do not affect my preliminary case analysis. Number one, don't tell me who we are representing, meaning if there's let's say a two-car collision, do not tell me whether our client is going to be on the red car, in the red car or in the white car. Do not tell me which one of the two cars is going to be the person we are representing. Why? Because I tend to lean towards the plaintiff side, meaning I tend to have an internal moral compass, let's say, or bias towards the injured party. So if I know that the car in the right is the person who got hurt, and I know that's the person we are going to be representing, that's going to subconsciously affect my analysis as to who's at fault in the case. That's going to not tell me, but indirectly push me towards believing that the case may be better than it actually is. Number two, do not tell me how badly the person was hurt. Meaning, if I am trying to evaluate the case as to liability, as to whose fault the accident was, it doesn't really matter to me how the injury happened or how severe the injury is. In fact, that piece of evidence is one that will likely skew my analysis. Meaning, if I know that somebody was hurt real bad and now they are paralyzed, let's say, subconsciously I want to find fault on the person who hurt that person. And so that's going to creep into my analysis of fault for the case. And it's going to affect my ability to realize accurately how good of a case it is on liability, on the fault side. Third, stay completely disconnected from people or parties that you have an attachment to. Meaning, if you're representing, let's say it's a family friend or something like that, and you have a certain opinion as to this family friend, let's say you believe that they are truthful, very careful drivers. If you know that fact, you know that that's the person that's behind the wheel of one of the cars, that is going to subconsciously affect the analysis, because whether you want it or not, in the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, well, that person in that car is a careful driver, and so this accident was likely not primarily his or her fault. So basically, the one general overarching principle of this is that if you can eliminate evidence or information that is not going to be directly relevant to your analysis, you can have a better preliminary case analysis, because you will not be influenced by your subconscious biases about the strength or weaknesses of your case by things that really have nothing to do with the strengths or weaknesses of your case. Now, obviously, mind you, I am talking about a preliminary analysis. I am talking about the first time you look at the case to try to figure out whether it's going to be a good case or a bad case. Obviously, if you want to do a complete case analysis, you're going to have to look at every single piece of evidence, and also you're going to have to take into account how the potential jurors' biases are going to impact whether you have a good case or a bad case, depending on your jurisdiction and the people in your jury pool. But that's for a complete case analysis. When I look at a case, I like to do a preliminary analysis just to see on the facts objectively, with everything else being equal, whether it's a good case or a bad case. And then you do a more thorough analysis where you basically have to take into account all the biases and all the information, including your own biases, and see and come to a conclusion as to whether you think you're going to have a good case or a bad case. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Catch you again next time. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and click the notification bell, and that way you can see when new videos come out. Take it easy.